What is good, everybody, man? It's your boy Jay in the building, man. We're back again with another video. Now, I don't know if a lot of people seen it, but Howard is on their way out the door of the MEAC, and they are headed to the CAA conference. So that begs the question, what's next for the MEAC conference? Like, honestly, I just feel like we are just watching the demise of the entire conference happening right before our very eyes. And, it got to start from 2010. Now, it don't really start with Winston-Salem, even though they were only in the conference for about 4 years. Like, they actually joined the MEAC in 2007, and they actually went back down to the CIAA in 2010. And behind them came Savannah State. Now, after 2017 is when things started to go downhill for the MEAC conference. So Hampton, who'd been part of the conference since 91, ends up leaving the MEAC and they go to the Big South. Then in 2019, Savannah State leaves the conference and they head to the SIAC. Then in 2021, 3 different teams end up leaving. We have North Carolina A&T, who ends up going to the Big South. Then you got FAMU and Bethune-Cookman, who both ends up going to the SWAC. Now, and what's crazy is a lot of these teams have been in the conference since the early 1970s and 80s. So now when you have teams who've been part of the conference for over 30 years, now in the last 5 years, you have 5 different teams that leave the conference, and now Howard is about to be on their way out the door next year. So, I mean, the question, what have the MEAC been doing for the last 5 years? Now, I know, Savannah State left for financial reasons. Winston-Salem State really, they were only Division One for 4 years, so they really didn't pick up any steam in terms of their athletics. So they moved that back down to D2 pretty quickly. But in terms of A&T, it was based off of travel expenses. I know now, especially when it came to FAMU and Bethune-Cookman, and with A&T, it was all based on travel. And you know how, they will go to Delaware State, and they're going to Howard, and they're going to Morgan State. They will really travel up and down the East Coast every year. So I didn't think they wanted to do that anymore. So that's what had them made the change to the SWAC. Now, as far as what's next for the MEAC, it's really hard to tell. In 2023, you about to have only 5 teams in the conference, and I don't know how much revenue the MEAC generates a year, but it can't be much when you have 5 different teams leave in the last 5 years. So it's really gonna be hard to tell what the MEAC goes from here, especially since Howard's been in the conference since 1970. So the MEAC is, man, it definitely doesn't look good for the conference, and possibly a few of those teams, they should look into joining the SWAC, or better yet, even joining the CIAA, joining the Big South, joining some of the other schools in the FCS, because I don't know how much longer the MEAC is going to be a conference. And I think this is what, Coach Prime was kind of wanting. They were kind of wanting the MEAC to merge with the SWAC and have the SWAC just be one big conference with the MEAC joining. So now when you have different teams branching off into different conferences, and now the MEAC is about to be left with only 5 teams, where does the MEAC go from here? So it just doesn't. It's just to me personally, it just looked like a sad situation, especially when A&T in their last 3 to 4 years in the MEAC, when they straight dominated and ends up leaving to go to the Big South, that was a real big damper. Especially since they were the team that was really keeping it afloat, especially with them, being in the Celebration Bowl. So now, and that's another question too, is what's gonna happen with the Celebration Bowl in the next 3 to 4 years? Especially with the demise happening, for the MEAC. So I don't know where the MEAC goes from here, but it just doesn't look good. So I hope, that they do something quickly, because like I said, man, it's just not a good look. I don't know, man.